From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, November 18th. Cold and breezy day on deck. Sunshine is going to return. Clouds decrease throughout the day, but highs are going to struggle to get in the low to mid 40s. Today, a highly anticipated announcement that could impact millions of Americans. The FDA is expected to decide whether to greenlight Pfizer's COVID-19 booster shot for all adults. The New York Times was first to report that news coming from someone close to this news. Right now, boosters are only authorized for those 65 and older or at high risk due to medical conditions or jobs. Moderna's vaccine could also be considered today for similar approval. The company submitted its application yesterday. The CDC meets tomorrow to consider the move, which normally comes after FDA approval. And according to that agency's director, the results on boosters are promising.
When we compare rates of COVID-19 disease between those who are vaccinated with 2 doses and those who have received a booster dose, the rate of disease is markedly lower for those who received their booster shot, demonstrating our boosters are working.
Some states and cities with COVID-19 cases on the rise have already opened up booster shots to vaccinated adults. The leader of Pike Township Schools, weighs in on the district's problem-plagued year. The superintendent, Dr. Flora Reckonatter, said that she and the school board are working to resolve staffing problems that have led to 5 unplanned e-learning days and a 6th day without any classes at all. We did receive word just this morning that students will be in classes today. Reckonatter posted a statement on the district's social media channels yesterday. She says the administrative team has been talking to current bus drivers and working to hire more. The post says the district has a new team focused on improving all the transportation issues. Changes include a new stipend and a push to improve hourly pay. The corporation is also hosting open interviews for bus drivers every Tuesday and Thursday. Tonight, the IPS board is set to vote on a plan to turn a former school building into a new homeless shelter. The project is part of a partnership between IPS and the city. The plan is for the old School 68, the Susan Rolich Elementary, at 21st and Emerson. The building would become overflow housing for women and children when other facilities are full during cold weather months. People staying at the shelter will need a referral and screening through Wheeler Mission. We talked with one man who lives nearby. He says he's happy people will be helped, but he does worry about the impact the shelter may have on the neighborhood.
It could. I'll put it that way. It could cause issues. Whether they let it cause issues will be something.
Planners say security staff will be at the site 24 hours a day when it's serving as a shelter. And today, a court appearance for one of former President Trump's top insiders. Steve Bannon is pleading not guilty to charges of criminal contempt of Congress. That's according to a notice Bannon's attorneys filed in federal court. Bannon is facing charges for refusing to appear for a deposition and refusing to turn over documents to the congressional committee investigating the Capitol riot. Possible punishment includes a month to a year in jail and fines up to $100,000 on each count. Today's hearing is the first in front of the judge who will hear the case. And a controversial video has been removed once again from a congressman's social media feed. Representative Paul Gosar retweeted the video just about an hour after the House voted to censure him over tweeting that very video. It was a photoshopped anime clip showing Gosar killing fellow House member Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and attacking President Biden. Gosar was also removed from his 2 House committees over this. The final vote was 223 to 207, a decision Gosar strongly disagreed with. Here, you're first going to hear from Ocasio-Cortez and then Gosar.
Does anyone in this chamber find this behavior acceptable? And if it's not acceptable there, why should it be accepted here?
I rise today to address and reject the mischaracterization, accusations from many in this body that the cartoon from my office is dangerous or threatening. It was not. And I reject the false narrative categorically. I do not espouse violence towards anyone. I never have.
This is the first time in over a decade the House of Representatives has voted to censure a fellow member of Congress. Students at Muncie Central High School will again learn from home. It's the 3rd unscheduled e-learning day this week. A letter to parents says a planned student protest led to the move. As we've reported, the dispute centers on the removal of a student poster from a class project about social justice. iTeammate spoke with a student who says the poster came down in part because of a recent opinion issued from the state attorney general that schools must treat Black Lives Matter material as part of a political organization.
I think there is a lack of education in the sense of people of color in general. If Black Lives is too political, then why do they allow FCA? Because if they're going to allow the FCA, which is Christian athletes, then why are we not allowed to post about social issues?
She says the students plan to write the attorney general and ask for a personal apology from the school resource officer who was part of the hallway conversation that led to the protests. Two major trials across the country are reaching crucial points. In Wisconsin, Kyle Rittenhouse is facing charges after police say he shot three men, killing two of them during racial justice protests last summer. In Georgia, Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan Jr. are on trial for the alleged killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Attorneys for Rittenhouse are calling for a mistrial, and it's over a piece of evidence the jury asked to review. It's a video. The jury saw it during the trial and has asked to see it again during deliberations. At issue is drone footage that was shown during the prosecution's closing arguments. Prosecutors say it shows Rittenhouse pointing his gun at protesters before the shooting started. Attorneys for Rittenhouse say they never got the highest quality version of the video and would have changed their strategy if they'd seen it. The judge has not yet ruled on the mistrial request, and jurors return to deliberations today. Now to Georgia. This morning, the man accused of shooting and killing Ahmaud Arbery is expected to return to the witness stand for cross-examination. Travis McMichael is one of three white men charged with chasing and killing Arbery while he was out for a jog in a Georgia neighborhood. McMichael took it to the stand saying he wanted to share his side of the story. According to McMichael, he shot Arbery in self-defense.
He had my gun. He struck me. It was obvious that he was. It was obvious that he was attacking me. That if he would have got the shotgun from me, then it was this is a life or death situation, and I'm going to have to stop him from doing this. So I shot.
Defense attorney Jason Sheffield has said he expects the defense to call 30 witnesses, which could stretch into the beginning of Thanksgiving week. And each Thursday on Daybreak, my colleague Scott Sander and I give you a close look at the local business headlines with Inside Indiana's Gary Dick. Here's what we learned this morning on Daybreak.
Time for one of our favorite parts of Thursday. Wish TV is proud to partner with Inside Indiana Business and the IBJ to bring you the best business coverage in the state.
So let's once again welcome Inside Indiana Business host Gary Dick. Thanks for joining us once again this morning. Have a lot to get to. So an easy option here this morning might be coming to Indianapolis for people who want to go abroad.
Maybe. Yeah, we're going to see an interesting story. We all remember the Indy to Paris nonstop. Mm-hmm. That was pretty popular, but then went away around the time the pandemic hit. Reality is, in talking to insiders, that was probably not going to come back. However, there is a report out, and the IBJ first a report here locally this week, that British Airways has requested slots from Heathrow to Indianapolis International for next spring. Does that mean it will happen? No, but there's obviously interest. We'll be talking to Mario Rodriguez, the executive director of the Airport Authority, on the show about it this week. Also, positive signs that travel is coming back at the airport. Traffic up 133% over the same period a year ago. And Indy is outpacing peer airports, most of them, and has been for the last number of months. So positive signs. But the bottom line is, guys, it's never going to get back to normal because business travel is not going to get back to where it was before.
Mm-hmm. It's a work from home environment, not full, but more than it ever was
More
before.
than it ever was. So it's going to impact, it's going to change the way the airlines do business.
We talk a lot about how central Indiana in specific, tend to try to find niches, places to carve out in an ever-changing business world. Fishers is making some progress.
In a big way. And, you know, Fishers, Mayor Scott Fadness will always talk about being an entrepreneurial, innovative city. It's kind of the brand that Fishers has created. And now it's really transitioned into the life sciences, too. A number of life sciences companies are now calling Fishers home. In fact, Mayor Fadness says $500 million in commitments have been made this year alone in Fishers, Incog, Stevanato, Genome, Last Labs, Quantigen, Telex. There are a number of companies going into an innovation park there. Another one expected to be on the way this week. So this innovation economy, if you will, the brand that Fishers has created, they're adding to it in a big way with the life sciences.
So what's coming up this week on Inside Indiana Business?
Talk to Mario Rodriguez from the airport, see if there is something to this possibility of a transcontinental flight, London to Indy. We will also talk about air travel coming back as well. And Fishers, the life science, will have Mayor Fadness. And Mary Rachel Redmond visits Little by Little Farm, a live turkey farm. Quite an interesting business there. In the IBJ this week, a number of big stories they will be talking about, including the real impact of the infrastructure bill, the hundreds of millions and billions of dollars going into the economy. We'll talk about that. A closer look at the proposed Lafayette Square development as well here in Indianapolis. Big, ambitious plan, $200 million. We'll have much more on that, which will be an interesting story as well.
Lots to read, lots to watch, and Gary Dick gets us ahead of all of it. We appreciate it.
Okay, guys.
And Santa's mailbox goes in today on Monument Circle. It's one of the traditional changes downtown leading into the holidays. The downtown Indianapolis post office installs it with the promise of sending the messages to St. Nick and delivering a response if you include a return address. It'll be on the east side of the circle facing Market Street. And Thanksgiving is 1 week away. The Moselle Sanders Foundation is aiming to feed 15,000 families next Thursday. This is the group's 50th year offering Thanksgiving meals. You can open your phone, unlock it, however you get to that text message, and text Moselle to 313131 to donate money. Every $20 feeds a family of 4. You can find out much more about this on wishtv.com. This has been your News 8 Daily. For Wish TV, I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast on News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.